Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to cover some absolutely depressing news in the gaming world. Some major studios are being shut down from Bethesda. Heartbreaking news here. Obviously, from the standpoint of jobs are being lost first and foremost. That is the most important thing that is going on. People's lives are literally being affected. What video games I get to play in the future are kind of irrelevant. Yes, would I love a sequel to a Hi-Fi Rush? Sure, but the more important thing is, there are people that their day-to-day lives are going to be affected with the closure of 4 studios, and jobs are going to be lost. So obviously our hearts go out to them, and hopefully they can find their footing. But yeah, this totally blindsided me. Did not expect it, but let's talk all about it. Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda shutting down some major studios, and notable ones of that. Let's talk about it. Bethesda Softworks is going to be closing Redfall developer Arcane Austin, Hi-Fi Rush and Evil Within, and Ghostwire Tokyo developer Tango Gameworks, as well as Alpha Dog Games and Roundhouse Studios, according to a company-wide email sent out by Microsoft Gaming President of Game Content and Studios Matt Booty this morning. Okay, so let's run down the entire statement and the full email, because, again, I was totally blindsided by this. This came out of left field to me. I understand that you can dissect every individual studio's offerings recently, but still, this is obviously just incredibly depressing. Today, I'm sharing changes we are making to our Bethesda and ZeniMax teams. These changes are grounded in prioritizing high-impact titles and further investing in Bethesda's portfolio of blockbuster games and beloved worlds which you have nurtured over many decades. To double down on these franchises and invest into build new ones requires us to look across the business to identify the opportunities that are best positioned for success. This reprioritization of titles and resources means a few teams will be realigned to others, and that some of our colleagues will be leaving us. Obviously, that is the most depressing part. Anybody that is affected, obviously, our hearts go out to you. That's the worst part in game development. As much as we have been talking about great games in 2023, great games recently, this has been one of the depressing elements of gaming over the last few years, especially with game budgets just exponentially increasing. So here are the changes going into effect. Arcane Austin. Arcane Austin is the branch of Arcane that is most recently known for releasing Redfall. Obviously, that game wasn't really well received, but back in 2017, they released Prey, and I had said back then that Prey was the most underrated game of 2017. I thought that game was absolutely fantastic. Arcane Austin, the studio will close with some members of the team joining other studios to work on projects across Bethesda. Arcane Austin has a history of making impactful and innovative games, and its pedigree that everybody should be proud of. Redfall's previous update will be its last as we end all development on the game. The game and its servers will remain online for players to enjoy and will provide make good offers to players who purchase the hero downloadable content. That is not a good look. Alpha Dog Studios. This studio will also close. We appreciate the team's creativity in bringing Doom to new players. Mighty Doom will be sunset on August 7th, and we will be turning off the ability for players to make any purchases in the game. Tango Gameworks. Probably the one that just hits me right in the gut the hardest. Tango Gameworks will also close. We are thankful for their contribution to Bethesda and players around the world. Hi-Fi Rush will continue to be available to players on the platforms it is today. Obviously, Hi-Fi Rush is going to be available, but you're talking Evil Within, you're talking Ghostwire Tokyo, and I have been praying to the high heavens that we would get a Hi-Fi Rush sequel. Obviously, a different studio can take up on that, but this was one of the games that Tango just dropped out of nowhere. It was beloved by the consumer. It was beloved by players. I absolutely loved the game. I couldn't talk it up enough. And when it came out on PlayStation 5, I reiterated it over and over again that you should absolutely play Hi-Fi Rush. And this is probably the one that is the biggest gut punch to me. But obviously, all of these suck. But Tango shutting down. I also really enjoyed Ghostwire Tokyo. And, for a little bit of a personal note for me, I wasn't a content creator that would always get review copies of games. I still don't, but Tango and the team over there were actually the ones that offered me Ghostwire Tokyo. It was my very first real review copy of a game that I got. So obviously I have a little bit of, a warm attachment to Tango as a studio, so I just want to be transparent with you guys about that. I don't do a lot of reviews on this channel, but the Ghostwire Tokyo review, I literally put my all into that review. It's like an 18-minute review. You guys can look it up, but Hi-Fi Rush was the game that just blew me away, and I thought it was an absolutely fantastic game. Really, really upset about that. And again, anybody that's affected in Tango, hope that they find their footing. They put out some phenomenal games, and I hope that they can, anybody involved can continue to put on and put out phenomenal games. Roundhouse Games, the team at Roundhouse Games will be joining ZeniMax Online Studios. Roundhouse has played a key role in many of our recent game launches, and bringing them into ZOS to work on Elder Scrolls Online will mean we can do even more to grow the world that millions of players call home. With this consolidation of our Bethesda studio team so that we can invest more deeply in our portfolio of games and new IP, a small number of roles across select Bethesda publishing and corporate teams will also be eliminated. Those whose roles will be impacted will be notified today, and we ask you please treat your departing colleagues with respect and compassion. We'll provide our full support to those who are impacted in today's notifications and through their transitions, including severance benefits informed by local laws. These changes are not a reflection of the creativity and skills of the talented individuals and these teams or the risks they took to try new things. I acknowledge that these changes are also disruptive to the various support teams across ZeniMax and Bethesda that bring our games to market. We are making these tough decisions to create capacity to increase investment in other parts of our portfolio and focus on our priority games. Bethesda remains one of the key pillars of Xbox with a strong portfolio of amazing games and thriving communities. As we look to the future, there is an impressive lineup of games on the horizon. In 2024 alone, we have Starfield, Shattered Space, Fallout 76, Skyline Valley, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, The Elder Scrolls Online's Golden Road. It's actually Gold Road, I believe, but nevertheless, as we align to our plans and resources to best set ourselves up for success in this complex and changing industry, our teams across Arcane Leon, Bethesda Game Studios, id Software, Machine Games, ZeniMax Online Studios, and the Bethesda Publishing and corporate teams will be well positioned to build new IP, explore new game concepts, and expand on our existing franchises. Again, the fact that they're going to expand on existing franchises, look at something like a Hi-Fi Rush. Are they going to do a sequel on that? That game seems like it would be something you would think about doing a sequel, but I don't know. I honestly don't know what that's going to do as far as that's concerned. But yeah, incredibly depressing across the board. This is one of the most significant closures as far as many studios being affected in one fell swoop. Obviously, we saw it with Sony earlier, shutting down a lot of studios, and this one is heartbreaking as well. I don't know exactly how many people are going to be affected, but you're talking about studios with significant lineage attached to them, especially with Arcane Austin and Tango Gameworks. Arcane Austin, by the way, again, is the branch of Arcane that did Redfall and Prey. The other branch of Arcane, Arcane Leon, they are working on the Marvel Blade title, totally escaping me. I was about to say Deadpool. They are not working on Deadpool. They are working on Marvel's Blade, and they obviously did the Dishonored game. So people sometimes conflate the two Arcane. They're two different Arcane teams. But yeah, Arcane Austin did some great games, and obviously Tango Gameworks, I think I've talked about their games ad nauseum. Evil Within 1 and 2, Ghostwire Tokyo, Hi-Fi Rush. They've done some great works. So to see them shut down, that's probably, again, to me, the biggest gut punch and the soft spot I have for them for giving me the opportunity to cover Ghostwire Tokyo. Obviously, that's going to be, my allegiances are transparent as far as that's concerned, but I do genuinely enjoy their games. But that'll do it for me, and one of the more depressing elements of gaming in totality to cover this year, last year, and it's going to be... If you look at these game budgets and how expensive games are to develop for, and again... When you look at Xbox Game Pass as a business model, I just don't know the longevity of it, and, I'm not in that pay grade to assess the closure of studios and everything going on as far as that's concerned, but this is just enormous news. Let me know all of your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Just one of the bigger news stories, I think, of the year. So depressing, but hope everybody finds their footing, and these things do happen in the gaming world, as we've been seeing over the last year and a half, 2 years or so, especially with some of these big budget titles not doing too well. A Callisto Protocol, an Immortals of Aveum. You see the layoffs in Ascendant Studio, and Callisto Protocol not doing well, Forspoken not doing well, games at that level that were big budget titles that just did not deliver commercially. So a lot to consider there. But that'll do it for me. Again, this is going to be a long story, and this is going to be a story I think we're going to cover for the next couple of years, as the state of game development is the way that it is. I've talked about it in previous videos, but I feel like games have gotten too big for their own good. They're spending too much money on these games, and then ultimately these games are gonna be getting shut down as well, and they can't make a return on their investment. Obviously, it's a catch-22 that when a studio gets bigger, you're employing more people, but at the same time, when games take 5 to 6 years to develop and they're still charging whatever $60, $70 for them, you're talking about tripling the time in developing the game, when games back in the day, 2 years, boom, new game, 2 years, boom, new game, and that's really not the case anymore. They're longer development cycles, they're more expensive, and ultimately not every game is going to be a slam dunk home run success. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. As always, interested to hear what you guys think. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.